You have 22, if you have 2,000. So thank you guys so much again for watching. Have a good day. Why did I say that? Oh. Hey everyone, it's Alyssa and I am back with another video. This one is a Q&A where I will be answering some questions that you guys have asked me a lot, including, you know, what do I do for work? That's like probably my most common question. But before I get into the video, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button and hit the like button while you're at it if you like this video. But my subscribers have blown up lately and I don't know what happened, but I'm so thankful for you guys. I was at Disneyland for the last 2 days and I was working in a hotel with my boyfriend, and like every couple hours I would check my subscriber count. And I would like scare him because I would like scream. And I was like, this is weird, this is freaking me out. And he was like, why? That's amazing. So I'm just overwhelmed by it. But thank you guys so much for subscribing. I really appreciate each and every one of you. My goal for the end of August was 3,000 subscribers and we're almost at 4,000 today. So you guys are amazing. Let's see. Okay, so I have my little written out questions here and I'm also going to be looking at my phone for some. Oh, and before I get into that, do you guys like the room I'm in today? This is my parents' guest room. I live at home right now. I'm in school and working. And so this is obviously my parents' house and this is their little guest room. Isn't that cute? Look how cute this is. Anyway, so I just wanted to change the pace and I really like this room. I feel like the lighting's really good, so hopefully you guys like it. Let's see. Let's start with the questions that are on Instagram. I will put my Instagram like somewhere around here and also in the description. That's where you guys can ask me all kinds of questions. It says I have a request for a message and I can't see it. Our internet's down today, so I'm probably gonna have to go to a Starbucks to edit this video or at least get it up. So I'm sorry, but this is probably the best place to message me if you have like a personal question. If you need help with something, message me on Instagram. If you have a question and you want it on one of these videos, I will definitely do a Q&A as long as you guys have more Q's for me to A. So message me if you have a question. But let's see, I did screenshot some so I didn't have to wait on my internet. Let's look. Okay, so let's just start with the most asked question. I'm not one of those people that waits till the very end to give you guys the answer to the question you're all been waiting for. So Tasha Nichols asked me, what is your at-home job and what are you currently going to school for? So 2 questions. I work from home. Everyone asks me that question all the time, what do you do for work? Because I know everyone wants to work from home. It's really nice to wake up, brush your teeth, maybe or maybe not change out of your pajamas and start working. It is actually really recommended that you get ready and like get dressed and get in that like I'm at work state of mind before you start working or whatever, but that's besides the point. I work for an insurance company and I don't want to get in too much to what I do just for the sake of, I don't know if my job wants me to talk about it a lot. I personally don't want to talk about it a whole lot just because of the nature of my work. I do investigate fraud, so I don't want anyone who commits fraud to want to like attack me personally, so I just want to kind of not talk about it a whole lot, but I do investigate insurance fraud and it's really fun. There's a lot of times where I'm really bored. It's not like as exciting as you would think it is, but I applied initially for a job that would be not really in my home but still not at an office. I applied for that job initially. And I honestly didn't think I had any relevant work experience for this position. I just thought it sounded like fun. And so I figured, what do I have to lose for applying to this job? Like, why not? This was after I lost my really good job working as a teacher for a medical assistant program. I was laid off from that job and I was in between jobs and I was just like, you know what? I need to change of pace. I don't know if I want to be a medical assistant again. Let's just apply places. I did apply for some medical assisting jobs, but I also applied for this job with the insurance company. And they actually called me and they were like, hey, we're actually interested in you because of your medical experience for a different job within our company. And so they told me it would be working from home. I wouldn't go into an office aside from for training. And I was like, that sounds amazing. Everyone in my company, at least at the time, was like in Orange County, LA area, and I'm further south. So it was a solid 3-hour drive for me to drive for training. And after that drive, which should have only been around an hour, but with traffic it's 3.5. If you live in California, you understand. I just thought to myself, I don't know how anyone does this 5 days a week for their whole entire life. No, thank you. So I was really happy that I started working from home. But anyways, that's what I do. Insurance fraud investigation. I work a normal 8 to 5, 8 to 4-ish job. My job is flexible. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably know, or if you watched my last video, I went to Disneyland the last 2 days, and I was able to find an Airbnb with nice Wi-Fi. Me and my boyfriend stayed there. I would work, I started at 6 or 7. If I'm working like East Coast cases, that's totally fine. I do have to make a lot of phone calls for my job, but as long as it's work time in their time zone, I can start whenever I want. So I did start earlier, so that way I could be done with my 8 hours earlier and we could head to Disneyland. And I did get an Airbnb that was like 3 miles away, so I was able to work super close. The last day, checkout was at 2. I couldn't get off work until 3, but we went to like a Panera and I used their Wi-Fi and finished up my work day. So I really like the flexibility of that. It's really nice because I don't have to take vacation days to kind of be on vacation. Like if we wanted to go to Vegas one day, one weekend or something, or we wanted to leave on Thursday and stay until Sunday, I could work on Friday. We could leave after work on Thursday. I could work from the hotel on Friday and then be off Saturday and Sunday. So it's really nice. Someone else asked, let me see. Let's see. Plan with Tat says, how were you able to find work from home? And as I described, I did just apply to a job that I didn't think I was necessarily qualified for. And I didn't say, you know, this was a work from home position. I thought it was going to be that position where I'd be in the field, but I applied anyways. So I would say apply anywhere that you feel like maybe the experience you have could transfer. And I barely had anything that I could go off of, but the company saw value in my background, and I didn't even know they were hiring in this other department. So just apply. You never know what could happen. And my job is super happy with my work right now. Like I'm producing better work than people they have with relevant experience that I thought was relevant. They're seeing my medical background have a ton of value for their company. So it's really great working for someone that really values you and, you know, sees your experience as a great selling point for their product and everything like that. So that's how I recommend finding a job from home. You can of course look for jobs that say, you know, this is a work from home position, but a lot of times it's like call centers and stuff and places you don't really want to work for. But there's a lot of companies that you do exactly the same thing as if you would work in a cubicle. Like I answer phone calls, I make phone calls, I have conference calls with my coworkers, I do emails, I fill out templates, like same things that I would be doing in an office, but I just do it on my own computer. So it's not like some crazy like work from home scam. Like it's just everyone works in a different location, so it just works better to not have an office for us. So that's how I recommend doing that. Just apply places and you never know what's going to happen. But let's return back to Tasha Nicole. She asked, what am I going to school for? Let's go into my school journey. So I did community college for a couple years when I was like fresh out of high school, didn't know what the heck I wanted to do, and I just took whatever sounded like fun. I took a lot of photography classes. I'm really interested in photography, but I mostly was just like, I don't know what to do, so I just want to take this class because it sounds fun. So I did that for about 3 years. I met a man at my community college, that I dated for a while, and that relationship turned horrible. And honestly, like I stopped school because I didn't want for my safety to run into this person. So I could have just transferred or whatever, but I took time off of school. I went through a medical assisting program, graduated, got a job, ended up teaching the program, and you guys are up to speed with that. But I started dating my current boyfriend, and he is finishing up his bachelor's degree. My older brother just finished his bachelor's degree, and I was like, you know what? I really want to go back to school. I just got like this urge, and I've always wanted to go into nursing. So spoiler alert, I'm going to school for nursing. But I had these fears, like what if I'm not smart enough? I've heard nursing school is so hard, you can't work during nursing school. Do you need something? Okay. I've heard you can't work during nursing school. So I really let those fears like keep me from nursing. And recently I've had experiences with like 2 or 3 nurses that have just absolutely like stuck with me and made me think about that experience all day. Like out in regular life, I have encountered nurses that were incredible. And I just kind of thought to myself, like, you know what? I think this is a sign. Like, this is what I should be doing. I'm not going to make the universe send me too many more signs. Like, next thing you know, something, knock on wood, something's going to happen to like a family member or something where we're going to need an amazing nurse in my life. And I just want to listen to the universe telling me, go into nursing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to worry about, okay, I'm not smart enough. Like, okay, Alyssa, you are. You know a lot about the medical field. I worked for 2 years as a medical assistant in an office that literally, like, the medical assistants are little PAs that are running around. Like, we prescribe medications. Of course, the doctor tells us which ones to prescribe, but we're the ones sending them in. We're expected to know a ton about prescriptions, x-rays, any sort of radiology, all sorts of treatment. This office had us basically, if we're with a new PA or a new doctor or a new nurse practitioner and they are about to go with a treatment plan that the main doctor doesn't agree with, it is our job to say, no, this is what the doctor would usually do in this circumstance, since they are operating under his license, basically. So we're required to know a ton about medicine. So I feel like I really do know enough to have a solid leg up on anyone that doesn't have any experience going into the nursing program. But of course it's going to be super, super hard, and I want to try and not work my first semester, so saving money is going to be crucial, hence this channel. So that answers what I do for work, how do I find work working from home, and what am I going to school for. So let's see what else you guys asked. Okay, so Tris asked, where is the easiest place to start budgeting when you're in over your head with debt? I feel like I've recently lost control of my spending habits. I have a car loan, a couple personal loans. I have several things I want to save up for. I'm just struggling to keep everything organized, essentially. I'm frustrated and behind and have to end up spending my savings because I end up needing cash before my next payday. So that is such a good question. When you are just starting out, or when you're just like learning how to do this whole program, it can be so overwhelming. And a lot of people ask, like, are you saving up for things? And I always tell people I'm trying to follow Dave Ramsey's steps, and he really does simplify things. You start out with $1,000 in your emergency fund, and that is strictly for emergencies. Like, let's say my car broke down and I only have $200 in my car maintenance fund and it needs $1,000 worth of work. Well, I need my car, so I will spend that emergency fund to get my car up and running. Then once that is taken care of, that temporary emergency, I will go ahead and rebuild that emergency fund before I start saving anything extra to anything else or spending anything extra. That is the first priority. Have that $1,000 in the bank. Then once you have that stuff saved for, you really are not saving in addition to that until you have your debt paid off. So for Tris, she's got a car loan, she's got personal loans. You want to make that your focus. If you are trying to save for a vacation, you're trying to save for, a new puppy, or you're trying to save for all these other things that can really distract you from your goal and make it really hard. If you're splitting the money that you have into 12,000 different envelopes, it can be really hard to make any headway in any of them. So you really have to try and pare things down as much as possible. Limit your spending, eliminate things that are not a necessity. Believe it or not, it is not a necessity to go out drinking with your friends. I had another girl ask me, let me see. Summer Does Things asked me, what's your budget for spending money each week? What do you do when your friends want to go out and eat or get drinks? What are friends? No, but for real, I have probably 3 friends that ask me to do things. When you get older, you just kind of, I feel like everyone goes to this time where they have less friends, but more quality friends. But anyways, my friends are pretty much in the same boat as I am. They don't have a ton of money to go spend and do things. Whenever I ask a friend to go do something, they're like, bro, I have $5 to my name. And I'm like, okay, let's eat at home or get a bottle of wine from Target and hang out at home and watch Netflix. Like, you just have to say no to things. If someone were to invite me tonight to go down to San Diego to a club that has a $20 cover charge, not only does that not sound fun to me anymore in my old age, but it's not in my budget. So you just have to learn how to say no. That brings me back to Triss's question about, you know, how do you budget for these things that come up, you really have to limit your spending. Your friends will understand if they're really your friends. Let them know, hey, I'm drowning in debt. I'm really trying to limit my spending. Could you either give me advanced warning, like, hey, in 2 weeks, let's go out to celebrate this. That gives you a lot more time to set aside any extra money to do something fun. I'm not saying you can't do anything fun, but make it as budget friendly as possible, and don't like charge it on your credit card or something. Like, save up for it, and say no to things that someone invites you to last minute. And eventually your friends will understand if they're true friends, and they will either stop asking you to do things that are expensive, they will give you advance warning, or they will start inviting you to do some things that are free. Don't underestimate how fun it can be to just hang out at home and watch Netflix. And if you need a drink, get a cheap bottle of something. It is so much less expensive to drink at home. So much. So that's my advice for Triss, and Summer Does Things. So yeah, you really can't focus on paying off your debt if you are saving up for a ton of things. And feel free to message me with like, hey, I'm saving up for this, this, and this. These are my monthly expenses. What do you think I can cut back on? I like to help you guys problem solve and everything. I would love to take a look at your individual like expenses or whatever and see what I feel like could be cut back on. But the main thing is you do need to learn how to say no, and that can be hard for a lot of young people. We want to keep our relationships with our friends strong, but at the end of the day, you getting out of debt is so much more important than going out for drinks on a Friday night. Trust me. Okay. Becca0430 says, I just found your YouTube videos and I'm so intrigued. Oh, that's sweaty. I'm just wondering how much time you set aside to budget like this and go to the bank and sort money and things like that. It seems like a lot of work. You mentioned going to school and working. How do you make the time? So it doesn't take that long. I honestly, when I get paid on Fridays, I set aside 30 minutes of my day to look, okay, what is my paycheck? Typically it's the same every 2 weeks. I work a set amount of hours, so I know what my monthly income is going to be. And I just write out, I have a little like cheat sheet on my desk that says what my usual payments are, so I don't forget anything. And I just write that out and I calculate, okay, so I have $178 I take out twice a month for my car. So this week I have to take out $178, which means one $100 bill, one $50 bill, one $20 bill, one $5 bill, and 3 ones. So I write that on a piece of paper, you know, how many ones do I need, how many 20s, how many 5s, and then I just go to the bank. And it takes maybe an hour, like all together, to go to the bank, or take a look at my budget, write it down, go to the bank, come back, put it in my envelopes, and film a video. Probably about an hour. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time. But school, work, having a relationship, having a YouTube channel in general, it does take a lot of time, but you just have to prioritize things. Like, people will say, you know, you should start watching this show. My sweet boyfriend, bless his heart, he'll say, like, you should start playing Pokemon Go with me. He's such a nerd. I love him. And I'm just like, honestly, if it's not gonna like provide value to my life, I don't need to do it. If it's gonna take up time and not really be a productive way to spend my time, I'm not really that interested. So I just cut back on a lot of things that don't provide value to my life. We don't watch a whole lot of TV, me and my boyfriend. Maybe an hour, a couple times a week, we will watch TV together. But other than that, that's all I do. I get off of work and I start school. And a couple times a week, I sit down and I film a video for you guys. So it just comes down to time management, honestly. And I know that's such a typical response, but it's true. And my number one tip, if you want to get into time management, is get a planner. That is a perfect segue into another question that you guys ask a lot, is what planner do I have? This is a Happy Planner. It's the big size. I have it on the metal gold discs, and this is a Martha Stewart cover on it. I love this planner because it's so easy to add customized stuff. So I made this little like dashboard. It has pictures of me and my boyfriend, me and my best friend, and just like the beach and things. And I love looking at this when I first opened my planner. And then I have, you know, of course, the monthlies. This is like this week's spread. So I plan my whole week on this thing every day. My mom saw my planner the other day and she was like, you do that every day? I'm like, yes, I do. And it is fun for me. Honestly, it's kind of like a journal, a planner, and like a memory keeper all in one. So I love planning. Get into it, guys, if you are interested in time management. And the little budget planner that I have in the back is still in my Happy Planner. It's just a 6-month extension pack that I modified one of the pages to be like a tracker. It has all of my budget stuff in it, and I will link the video that I did that's an in-depth look at this down below. But honestly, I'm probably going to change it. I don't need all this stuff. I don't put receipts in here. I don't really do this debt tracker because stuff comes in the way. I'm not paying off my debt this month. I didn't even check this stuff off. I'm so bad. Cell phone, car insurance, okay. I've gotten in the habit, maybe that's better for someone that's not really in the habit of paying their bills on time yet, or something like that. But I'm really good about it, so I don't really need that stuff. But I will definitely show you guys whatever I come up with next. Let's see. A lot of you guys ask about the cash envelopes that I've made, and I use every week. And if I'm going to be selling them. The answer is yes. I'm going to start working on them today. Actually, I already started, but I'm going to make more envelopes today. I'm going to make some more progress on that. I just finished school on Thursday. I think I got a 4.0, guys. Let's see. We'll see how she grades the final essays in one of my classes. But I know I got an A in my philosophy class, and I think I might pull off an A in history. But anyways, that's besides the point. School just ended, so I had a little bit more free time. I will get those envelopes done. I want to order, I did find the paper that I used for mine on Amazon, and I want to order that. I do have a different kind of paper that I'm using right now, but you guys really seem to like that paper, so I want to get you guys what you really like. But I think you guys will really like the paper that I'm using right now too. It's so cute. One of the sets has like little like foxes and feathers and bow and arrows and stuff. It's really cute. And then the other one is like florally. Okay. Why do you take out cash for things that are paid online is a really common question. I am just the kind of person that if the money is like in my bank account, it doesn't count to me. It's like Monopoly money. It's so dumb and I'm not proud of it, but I just swipe that debit card like no one's business. So next thing I know, I look at my account and I'm like, who hacked me? No, you spent that money. So if it's out of my account, it's in my safe, I would have to physically go into my safe, take it out, and be like, okay, I'm gonna rob from this envelope to buy this thing. And I would never do that. But when I'm at Michael's and I see a really cute planner that I wanna buy, I just swipe my debit card if there's money on it. So that's what I do. It is an extra step, and some people would be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, and you're right, it is dumb. But I'm a spender. If it's on my debit card, it doesn't count to me. It's Monopoly money. So I take it out to keep it safe, basically. Why don't you pay rent? I think someone asked me that. My parents are really nice, and they think that if you're going to school, you don't have to pay rent. So that's why. But my life might be getting interesting because my parents want to move and they want to downsize. So I might not have a home. We'll see. And I laugh because it's stressful, but we'll see. I'll make it work. I'll make it work. Anyways, planner, budget planner. Let's see what else you guys asked. Also, do you have any tips? This comes from Becca0430 again. Do you have any tips for someone that is coming in interested in this with already a lot of debt? So I have like right around like $22,000 in debt, which is kind of a lot when you say it out loud, for a 24-year-old making not that much money per year. But it's fine. Everything's fine. You just have to work at it. Like if you have $222,000 in debt and you're 24 making not that much money, well, you have a situation on your hands, but it can still be done. You really have to look at your debt as a whole. I listen to the Dave Ramsey show all the time, and whenever someone calls and they say, Dave, I have X amount of debt, I feel like I'm drowning, I'm only making this much, what do? He has them break down what their debt is in. How much of it is in cars? Do you need that car? If not, sell that car. If if you're making $30,000 a year, you don't need a $30,000 car. You need a $3,000 car. So sell your car and buy a little junker that you can drive until you're out of debt. You don't need to have this giant car loan that is just making you drown in debt. But a lot of people, their debt is student loans. That is like the majority of debt these days. It's craziness. But really, you just have to get on a written budget. You have to cut your spending like crazy. You don't need anything extra. You do not need to eat out if you have a massive debt problem on your hands. I still allow a little bit of eating out in my budget just because I feel like I have a plan in action and I don't feel super overwhelmed. But if you're like, I'm going to be in debt until I'm 82 years old at this rate, what do? You need to buckle down. So cut that spending, stop spending anything extra, get on a written budget where every single dollar has a plan. You're not sitting with $200 left over in your account and you're like, oh, maybe I'll buy this week. No, that goes to the debt. You need to buy yourself the Total Money Makeover and read it, listen to Dave Ramsey's podcasts, get on a plan. And the other end of that is your income. You need to raise that income. Get a part-time job. Get a job working weekends. Get some sort of way to make your income go up. Sell something on Etsy. Sell everything in your home. Just get that income up and pay off your debt. It's going to be a struggle short term, but long term, it's super, super worth it. So there is that. Another person asked, what do you do for a living? This is Erica Roman 4. So I answered that. And then she says, once you become a nurse, where would you like to work? She's also taking her prereqs for nursing school. So I'm curious how many of you guys are like in school or a nurse or in a nursing program or something like that. Leave a comment if you are also wanting to be a nurse in nursing school or are a nurse. I'd be interested to see how many of my viewers are already on that path. But anyways, so I do want to become a nurse, and I think the plan, obviously I'm only in my prereqs. Right now I'm actually in the prereqs to the prereqs. In order to take microbiology and anatomy, you have to take human biology and chemistry. So I'm taking those, and then next semester I will take like the regular sciences. So it's a long road ahead of me, but better start now, right, than when I'm 50. So anyways, the plan is to work like in some sort of bedside nursing. The concept of the ER definitely intrigues me. When we would have like emergency situations at the doctor's office, it was definitely exciting. I like the idea of you see someone, you treat what is like the most critical, and you either admit them to the hospital or they leave. For some people, that's not what they want to do. They want to like fix the problem and like completely fix it or whatever. But I like the idea of things being constantly moving, constantly changing, and just like a 12-hour shift feeling like shorter because you were running around like an absolute crazy person for the whole entire time. But then the concept of maybe like the ICU, I would love to work with children. So maybe some sort of peds unit or the NICU. I feel like everyone wants to work in the NICU. My camera is cutting me off because I'm taking too long. Anyways, the NICU possibly. I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get into a nursing program. First of all, I'll have to jump that hurdle first. And then I have to go through my rotations and see what I like. But I want to work in bedside nursing for at least like 4 or 5 years. And then a lot of people don't realize that as a nurse, you can work from home. You can do case management. You can do like consulting where you work for like a phone line. People will call you for medical advice and you tell them if they need to go to an urgent care, they need to go to an emergency room, things like that. That's my plan once I start like having babies or something. If I decide I want that, we'll see. If my mom's watching, I definitely want babies. Please do not yell at me. I think that was all the questions. Let me see if I can get the one that just came in. Oh, cool. Okay, so Jordan Mingram asked me, hey Alyssa, I just started watching your YouTube videos and I'm trying out the cash envelope system to help me budget. I just noticed you split your bills in half between 2 checks. How do you do that? All my bills are scattered throughout the month with different due dates and I don't see it possible for me to split them between my paychecks every 2 weeks. So it is hard to get in that like when you very first start doing it, like you're like, okay, I get paid on the 1st, and I want to take half of all my bills out on the 1st and half on the 15th. But I have a bill due in completion on the 5th. How do I do that? So you kind of have to come up with extra money the very first time that you do it. Sell something, and pay off that whole entire thing completely. So like, let's say you have a $300 bill that's due on the 5th and you get paid on the 1st. Find a way to pay that $300 bill on the 5th, and then on the 15th, put $150 towards the next month in your little envelope. So that's basically how you have to do it. You just have to split it up, and if it comes before your threshold for when you get paid next, you just have to pay it and then start with the half on the next paycheck. Does that make sense? I really hope it does. But so that example was kind of the best I could do for you, but just write down when you get paid and when your bills come out, and that'll determine like when you start doing the half. Like I had to do that when I first started. I kind of took a break from the cash envelope thing for a little while, and I kind of had to be like, okay, well my car payment is due on the 16th. I don't get paid until the 18th, so I have to come up with extra money. I have to house sit, I have to babysit, I have to sell a piece of furniture. Like you just have to get through that one payment, and then you can start doing the payments in half. It doesn't matter if things are scattered. No, it just fell off. It does not matter if things are scattered. My bills are due all over the place. Like let me tell you. My credit card, if I ever have something on that, is due on the 2nd. I have a subscription coming out on the 10th. I have my car payment on the 16th, movie pass on the 21st, cell phone on the 24th, car insurance on the 28th, and Spotify premium on the 31st. And now Disneyland on the 26th. So it comes out all over the place, but if you just split everything in half, you can make it work. There just is a little bit of finagling in the beginning. Let's see. Okay, so Jordan, I'm answering you in this video. Oh, Tiana Denny said, ooh, just binge watched your videos and saw you were saving for this. Glad you went, hee to Disneyland and California Adventure. So that was super fun. You guys, you can have fun when you're on a budget. You just have to do it smart. Save up for it. I knew I was going to Disneyland for months and I piled up cash. So it can happen. You guys can do this. Okay. So if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments. It's a little bit easier for me to keep track if they're in my DMs on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. That would be great. I hope you guys really like this video. I know it's a long one, but some of you guys say you really like the long videos, so thank you for that. So if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and there will be more like this in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!